for all the buttery, leathery and latex sounds. Welcome to my ASMR channel. Hello there. Welcome to the Wellington Boot Repair and Restore Memorial. Here we're all about the rubber and the latex and the maintenance, making sure that our favourite boots stay in perfect working order. Yeah, I do enjoy my job. I count myself as rather lucky, to be honest. I have my apron, my trusty see-through apron that always protects me. Let's start with a little Wellington care, shall we? Good. I'm going to start with a very simple cleaning cloth. A little bit of texture can be helpful at times. And, of course, the most important ingredient, simple, soft, warm liquid. That's all we're looking for today. Nothing more complicated than that, I'm afraid. You were expecting me to tell you it was some marvellous, intriguing thing that you'd never heard of before, weren't you? I'm afraid I'm going to be disappointing you today. In fact, Wellington boot care is relatively straightforward, and I think you'll find it's something that you too may find very therapeutic, as I do. Very, very therapeutic. Yes. Now, these little beauties need a simple clean down. Nothing more than that. These are actually a matte rubber, which means that even when cleaned, they maintain that matte finish. They have a beautiful shape. I don't know if you've noticed. Look at the lovely curve on the top there. So just a nice circular motion whilst cleaning. And then all we'll be doing is taking a nice dry section of our cloth, like so, and just buffing away the boot. Quite simple, really. Not complicated at all. I get asked a lot what are my favourite Wellingtons, and of course there's the obvious Hunter, but I won't lie, there are some spectacular boots out there. Let me put this one away. Looking beautiful. Let me put this one away, and I'll show you one of my favourites. So, in our boot store, we also have this range. Now, this is a very special boot. This here, as you can see, not quite a full boot, just calf length. Wonderful shaping on it, beautiful detailing, and wait for it, this is my favourite thing. Right here, unexpectedly for a Wellington boot, just as you thought, there is a zip. That's entirely correct. Isn't that just spectacular? And the detail is just something else, isn't it? Have you ever seen such a lovely thing? You could almost used wear these as a riding boot, if you wish to, obviously. Yes, they are quite beautiful. Do you know, the Sono hadn't even taken off the paper yet. Let me show you that pretty little zip just hanging there. Look at that detailing. It's beautiful, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful. That alone gives me the most wonderful tingles. And there's a slight detail on the back there. I'll show you that. There are my nails up here. Can you hear that? Can you hear that? A ridge in the rubber. Wonderful. Wonderful naughty ridge in the rubber. What is your thoughts on that? Is that a sound you rather like? Good. Well, I'll pop that back. Oh, hello there. How are you today? It seems we have a visitor. And what can I do for you? I see. Well, you have certainly come to the correct place. It's quite a common problem, you know. Hunters often, when you first buy them, have that amazing, beautiful shine to them. And as time goes on, almost a film develops over them and they become a bit matte. Just lose their luster, don't they? Please, bring them round here for me. Let me have a little look. Okay, what have we got here? Lovely. Classics. Again, not a full length, but that's perfectly fine. As you can see, we have a beautiful pair of hunters here with the lovely detailed heel. And if you hear that, wonderful rubbery sound. Now I think these are going to need a good cleaning first, don't you? Shall we just work with the squeaks for a little bit? Yeah. Now I wonder if we were to add a little tiny touch of water, if that squeak might just... Let's see. Squeak going to increase for me. Lovely, isn't it? And we'll just put this together. Oh, that's a lovely thick sounding. Now, shall we start by giving the first boot a little clean? I think that would be the correct way to go. Just with your hot soapy water. Nothing more complicated than that. A nice circular motion up and across. These boots have been well worn and well used, which is what one wants to see, isn't it? You wouldn't want to see a pair of boots that are unloved. Definitely not. That would be awful. Would you like to leave these with me and I can finish them off? You can pick them up when you're finished your shopping. No problem whatsoever. Yeah. We're just going to give those a lovely polish up. Now, I'll give this one a little dry off. Pop it to one side for a moment because we're certainly not finished with it yet. You see, the first boot had a matte finish on it, so we would usually leave the cleaning at that station. But these hunters, well, they're quite different. They come with a wonderful, original, deep shine, which, as you can see, this one has really lost its luster. But we can bring that back in no time at all. Just a lovely circular motion on the cleaning. Let's get all that dust and dirt off. We don't want to see our boots all dusty and dirty, do we? Though it has to be said, our boots work exceptionally hard for us, right? They take us to the worst and dirtiest places, protect our little tootsies, we should genuinely be quite grateful. And I'm surprised at how many people come in to have that care taken over their boots. But as they do such a wonderful job for us, it's not really surprising at all, is it? I'll pop that boot there for a moment for you. We're just going to give it a little dry on. There we are, it's dry all along the bottom, all along the sides. And I'll pop this one to one side to dry off too. Now, our other gloves are just here. So, I'm going to be working with bringing those boots back to life again. And to do that, I have to say, there's some very simple ingredients, but I will need to pop on my rubber gloves. We can double glove. I don't think that will be any problem at all. In fact, sometimes it feels nice to be double gloved, doesn't it? Of course it does. Everybody knows that. Let's pop these on carefully. There we are. Squeeze my hand into that. Wonderful. Perfect job. Now, for the next part of our cleaning exercise, we're going to need a microfiber cloth. Yes, microfiber is indeed the best for this job, and I would always highly recommend it. The other ingredient that I think gets very overlooked, the humble olive oil. And that is what I'm going to be using today. Just a little spot on my microfiber. I'll bring that first boot in that we began with. Now, do you see? A little bit shinier after that good wash with the soapy water. Shall we have a look if we can't just bring back the shine perfectly to these boots? Oh, the toe. I'm just going to show you the toe low. Now, isn't that looking a little brighter already? And again, simple circular motion. We'll pop a little bit more of our olive oil onto microfiber and gentle movements around and around the rubber, and very slowly you'll see these boots come back to life as if it were the first day you bought them and the first day you wore them. Circular motions, taking your time, no rushing with this job. It's very important that you take your time with those circular motions. Now, this little boot is looking beautiful. I think their owner is going to be so surprised when they come back. We'll give it a little buff, just a little buff to make sure oil is perfectly evenly distributed. Now, I'm going to move on to the second boot, but in the meantime, I'm just going to bring the first one back in. Quite a difference, isn't it? Quite a difference. This one is looking perfect now. Shall we fix the second? Right, just a little olive oil again. Let's pick the side that we've put our olive oil on. There we are. And just as we did with the last, we'll begin with a nice circular motion around the toes. Just massaging that into the rubber. The microfiber cloth really does help, I find. Of course you could use a piece of tissue or such like, but I don't find you get the same effect with that. No. I find the microfiber grips any little bits of dirt or bits that are in the way that you're just not wanting to stick to your lovely boots. There we are. Good polish around the side. I'm going to work up, that's it, right into the edges and along that lovely trim on the top there. You don't want to miss that. Buckles as well. And a bit of a buff just to get that all shiny. I like to get my glove right inside if I'm giving it a really lovely buff. Let's pop that there. And we'll just take the other one, make it that little finishing buff. And I think these little beauties look wonderful, do they not? As if they were brand spanking new. Now, I think it may be time for me to clear up today. They are a lovely pair of boots, aren't they? Thank you so much for joining me at the Welly Emporium, and I can't wait to have you back. You know, if you're interested in more videos, there is always my Patreon page, my OF page, where you can find all sorts of rubber and latex delights. And I always greatly appreciate any support from you. So all that's left to be said. Happy listening, my darlings. Shh. Hello there. Thank you so much for listening today, and I hope that you've enjoyed. I wanted to just let you know I do actually have 3 channels. One is a leather and latex tingles. You'll get interesting funny stories as well as latex glove content, lots of glove content. I also have a medical channel, and obviously I have my Sleep Easy channel. So I'll pop all the links in the description below just in case you fancy trying some of my other ASMR. And you can always pop over to my Patreon page for additional content as well as my OnlyFans. Happy listening, my darlings.